right, everyone, welcome. Good evening. Welcome to the Norwayne Community Citizens Council's 2019 Hall of Fame Annual Dinner. You aren't hearing me at all back there? All right, here's what we're gonna do. We get to do this now. Hello, everybody hear me? All right, everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Everyone, please have a seat. I'd like to officially welcome you to the Norwayne Community Citizens Council 2019 Hall of Fame Annual Dinner. Welcome friends, families, neighbors. All of you people are in this room today because you play a very, very important part in our community, and we show our appreciation and gratitude to all of you by holding this annual event each year. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here this evening. My name is Christina Worm. I am a resident of Norwayne. I'm also on the Norwayne Community Citizens Council as a financial secretary. They stalked me down and hunted me down when I came into this district to make me a part of the council, and it was the best decision I ever made. I have to admit, we first moved to this community, it wasn't all that impressive. We moved in the winter time, everything looks pretty covered in snow, we can agree. Then the spring thaw came. Wandered around with my then 8-year-old son, check out the parks, check out the local area. Sad to say we weren't that impressed. But I have a very industrious 8-year-old at the time. He's still industrious. We're at 14. He decided he was going to start an initiative called Clean Your Street One Bag a Week. He wanted everyone in the neighborhood to get on board. But he didn't really care if everyone was on board. He did it every week. He wanted his parks clean. He wanted his neighborhood clean. He went out with his tree trimmers, riding his bike. If a pathway wasn't clear, he made sure it was clear. These are the people who live in Norwayne. We make sure things get done. Yes, we appreciate every single community organization that joins with us. The city has been a pleasure to work with beyond measure, but it's the citizens that keep this going. I personally myself am a proud granddaughter of a World War II veteran, and I am also the daughter of a Vietnam veteran who actually fought in the jungles of Vietnam. Now, when people say in a blasé way, when you ask them how their day is going and they say live in the dream, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit, and here's why. There were 2 young men fighting in wars who dreamed of coming home and having families of their own. I love being in the Norwayne community because these soldiers came home to Norwayne to start their homes and families, to continue what they started before they went off to war. It chokes me up trying to get through this. So when I say I'm living the dream, I literally am living the dream of 2 young men who came home. And I'm forever grateful for their journey that brought me here today to speak to all of you. So this evening, we are going to induct 2 citizens who have given of their time, their love, their energy to the Norwayne community. And that's how things get done with love. You have to have a passion for it. You have to love it. You have to want to be a part of it and see the change. And that's what we do here. I'd like to introduce at this time Father Jerry. He is going to do our invocation. Father Jerry has been a spiritual guide of 25 years for the Norwayne community, and he will be retiring this July. We thank you so much for your time, your prayers, and your guidance within our community. Father Jerry, if you could please come up at this time.
Time for credentials. I too am the son of a World War II vet, and I am a Vietnam vet. Amen. Twice.
Thank you for your service.
And it's not been 25 years, it's been 30. How time flies when you're having fun. Almighty God, we ask your blessings on this Norwayne community, forged out of a world conflict, still with its own share of conflicts and battles, in each case filled with successes and victories, and in each case filled with heroes. We ask your continued blessings on this community, May it grow. May it prosper. May it reflect your generosity of heart and presence of spirit. We ask your blessings on this food that we are to eat. We ask your blessings on all who work so hard to serve it. And most especially, we ask your blessing on the community of Norwayne.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Father Jerry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I am requesting the following come to the podium for the purpose of the dedication of Rosie Riveter Way. If we could have the Yankee Air Museum tribute Rosies to come up to the front, please. Westland Mayor William Wild, Wayne Mayor John Racy, and the Norwayne Community Citizens Council Board of Directors, along with our own Rosie, Ruth. Do we want to do it before or after the unveiling?
Introduce Betty.
Yeah, okay.
Betty, introduce yourself.
Okay. All right, here we go. Go ahead.
Good evening. On behalf of the Yankee Air Museum, the American Rosie the Riveter Association, and my fellow Tribute Rosies, it is an honor to be here tonight. It was 3 years ago I was asked to bake B17 cookies for a tea and was introduced to the amazing community of Norwayne. Since then, I have been a part of the tea both on the committee and along with my tribute sisters as a server. The teas have been a huge celebration of Rosie, giving special care to every detail, and even introduced your own Rosie Ruth. What started out as a volunteer job has grown into a friendship and kindred spirit. Your Rosie spirit shines in everything you do. Our friendship, like the roses we planted and dedicated in the spring, will continue to bloom and grow. We have a strong bond and a common cause. Our cause is to keep Rosie's legacy alive. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for honoring the Rosies, and thank you for keeping their legacy alive in all of your hearts.
Mayors.
So we're now going to unveil the new sign that will be,
I'm gonna sue you.
Okay.
that will be a
Let's-
part of New Dorsey Road.
Let's count down. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, we got it.
Yay, Bros Rosie.
We should do a Rosie.
You want to do a Rosie event? Okay.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Oh, he said one more looking at him. 1, 2, 3.
Ladies want to do a Rosie pump. All right. Can you get in front of that? Oh, right up front. Right up front. Right up front.
Okay. I can go down. Is that good?
Oh, that's better. Oh, no? What are you doing? I'm sorry.
I'm going to take this from you, Ruth. I'm going to take this from you. I'm going to take this from you.
I want to get a picture of you guys.
Good job, thank you. You too.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks
Ruth.
for the talk.
Thank you so much, Ruth.
I appreciate that.
I
Can I
appreciate-
go now?
Yes, you may.
Oh, good.
So at this time, I would like to introduce our Mayor Bill Wild for his annual message on Norwayne. Mayor Wild has been a true champion of this community. We really could not be any more extremely grateful than we are. We know that when we go to him, we are heard, we are respected, and he helps keep us going by making our visions come to life. So we can never thank you enough, Mr. Mayor Wild.
Do I need that?
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right. Can you hear me? All right. Well, how about Christina? Is she doing a great job as our mistress of ceremonies tonight? She said this is her first time. I think she's like an old pro, so we may be putting you to work more in the future. So, first of all, thank you all for being here tonight. Hopefully, you're enjoying the dinner. It's hard to believe this is the 8th Norwayne Founders Dinner and our 3rd Hall of Fame celebration already. So it's great to see everybody here tonight. It's nice to see former Mayor McKinney with us here tonight. Nice to see you again. And the beautiful woman to his right is Judge McKnight. It's nice to see both of you here tonight. So I'm supposed to give my annual update on Norwayne. I can tell you that I'm so proud of all the great things that are happening in this community. And before I jump into it, for those of you, if anybody was here last Saturday when we had, was it the 9th annual? The 9th annual Harvest Fest. And I was talking with Hank, and he was so proud because he said the first year there were 3 kids that came through for candy, and this past year, at one point I heard somebody say they went through 700 walking tacos in the line, and they ran out and they were going to get more. So it's just amazing how many people came to this year's event. And it just shows you the continued growth here in the Norwayne community. And I think that all of us have played a big part working together in achieving the overall goal that we have is for Norwayne to once again become a community of choice. And I think that we passed that threshold several years ago. We've had so many successes together, from community events like the Harvest Festival, like I just mentioned, the Family Resource Fair, to fundraisers like the Rosie Tea Party, and then on the business side of it, to increase property values. And more investors and property owners are putting money into their business or into their homes here, and the vacancy rates are extremely low. It's been a busy year in the city of Westland in 2019, but it's been a really busy year here at Norwayne. There's been a lot of continued improvements. First of all, the Cayley Park benches now are in place thanks to the generosity of Mike Calley and his family. Thank you for your continued support. There's new digital signs. They're going to be going up right in front of Jefferson Barnes here and down at Cayley Park, so that we can start to communicate all the great things going on all throughout the city to residents as they travel through the thoroughfares here in Norwayne. The Norwayne Boxing Gym continues to grow and expand. This past year they put the finishing touches on some new state-of-the-art locker rooms, and we're looking forward to their continued efforts to help us here in Norwayne. There was a lot of, this may not sound like much, but one of the things that we work on is the visual aspect of the community. There was a lot of work done this year on clearing shrubs and grass on sidewalks and in some areas around town, just to make the area more visually attractive and to make it more walkable too. So we appreciate everybody that helped with that. On your way in tonight, you saw our most recent project is the new circle driveway here in front of Jefferson Barnes. And we're going to be putting some handicap spots right next to the building. One of the things that I just never felt real comfortable is we do a lot of events here at night, and families, I've seen parents drop their children off out at the street, and they kind of have to watch them walk all the way up, and it is quite a long walk. So with the new circle driveway now, we'll have a drop-off and pickup point right next to the building, plus add the additional handicap parking, so that's going to be really nice. Some things that you don't really see but are really important, and you're going to see us do more of this, is infrastructure improvements. We recently did a $175,000 sewer lining project, and that's something that a lot of the sewers in Norwayne predate the city's history, so we're going back through using modern technology to line those sewers. The worst thing that can happen is to have a sewer collapse because those turn into sinkholes. So by being proactive in lining these older sewers, we're going to extend the life of them out maybe another 20, 30 years. And then something that we're proud of is that now we're starting to see the other utilities see the investments that we're making in the community, so now they're stepping up to the plate. And there's going to be a new $7 million installation of new water mains, of a new water main which starts at Vinoy and Glenwood, and it connects the pump station on Michigan Avenue to the neighborhood. This is going to be funded by the Great Lakes Water Authority, and that's not something that we're going to be able to drive by and see, but the fact that there's $7 million worth of new water main that's feeding this district, I think, is incredible, and that's what we're talking about, is making that community sustainable. There's a demolition of an additional 3 blighted structures this year. I think just the fact that there was only 3 this year shows that we're really coming through that process of demolition. We demoed 3 blighted structures. That brings the total since 2010 to 91 structures. And then our housing department here has worked with these parcels with the neighbors, the adjoining owners of the property, to either take those on for green space, or some of those are being held for future home sites in the neighborhood. Also, we celebrated the new construction of a new single-family home in partnership with SER Metro Youth Build. And we also celebrated the addition of the Head Start program here at the Community Center, and that is a partnership with Wayne Metro Community Action Agency. Something else that's going to happen in this neighborhood that's really going to be a game changer is in 2020, we're going to see the installation of 2 canoe and kayak launches at the Lower Rouge River at Merriman and Vinoy Roads. This is a $900,000 project which is being funded through the Wayne County Parks Millage. And that's going to include accessible launches, picnic areas, parking, enhanced walking, and a biking path between Merriman and Vinoy Roads, and several improvements to the county park there. So that's going to be a huge game changer once you can access the Lower Rouge through the Norwayne area here to enjoy on picnics and kayaks. So that's going to be something that we're going to be excited about. And the last thing is I just want to congratulate my good friend Henry Johnson and the family of Justine Barnes, who's here tonight, and their induction into the Norwayne Hall of Fame. I think that's really cool, and I'm so proud that they're going in, and the fact that they could go in together. Just two pillars of not just the Norwayne community, but the whole Westland community. They truly exemplify the meaning of community and citizenship. So, Hank, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you officially sworn in into the family of Justine Barnes. It's great to see you in town tonight, too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wild, for your wonderful update. And touching back on that 3 kids, my son was one of those first 3 kids. He got pretty loaded up with candy. He wasn't too sad that there were only 3 kids at that original trick-or-treat party, so they had him just keep going around and around. Now he's fighting with all the little ones. All right. All right, so now we would like to proceed with our inductions of 2 citizens into our Norwayne Hall of Fame. I ask for Sharon Scott and Scott Barnes to please come forward at this time.
Thank you. I've got to tell you that the best childhood anyone could ever have for me was on Armada Court in Norway. And I lived there for many, many years. Graduated from Wayne High in 1957. And there's so many happy memories. It always feels good to come back to Norway again. And I'm sorry that I can't be a little more active, but I'm not here about me today. I'm here about Justine Barnes. Justine and I were very best friends. She's the one that really got me started on my political career. And Scott, too. Scott did a lot for me. Always ran my campaigns, and most of them I won. So anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about Jay. I got to put my glasses on first. Okay. Justine Barnes was a trailblazer who rose from school activist to becoming a state representative. Justine and her husband Johnny lived many years in Norwayne. The Barnes were parents of sons Dwayne and Scott. Born in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, on February 2nd, 1925, she moved to Detroit with her family when she was 2. She met her husband Jonathan at age 16. He was in the service and stationed in Gulfport, Mississippi, when they married 2 years later. When he was transferred to Detroit to serve at the Willow Run bomber plant, they moved into government housing on Alpena Court in Norwayne in 1945. When the government put the housing up for sale, the couple bought their unit and lived there until 1972. Her list of firsts is nearly endless. She was the first woman on the city council, a member of the first elected council, first woman elected locally to the State House of Representatives, and the first president of the Westland City Council. I think, Gail, you remember all that. Jay became involved in the Jefferson Elementary School PTA when her oldest son, Dwayne, was in kindergarten. He was the treasurer of the Jefferson Norris PTA in 1954. Jay was elected to the Democratic Party precinct delegate from the Jefferson area in 1954 and served until 1972. She was a real true Democrat, believe me. She championed the paving of Norwayne roads in 1957 and 1958. She also worked to save Westland from urban renewal in the early 1960s. She fought to get the fire station on Northgate built in 1970 to replace the old fire station on Grand Traverse. Barnes served in the State House for 12 years. That was just before term limitations. She started in 1983. She was praised for such issues as her successful fight to block the old Eloise property from being converted to a state prison in 1985. And I do remember that fight, and it was pretty brutal. Former 18th District Court Judge Gail McKnight, who served with Jay on the Westland City Council in the early to mid-70s, said of Miss Barnes, Justine was an apron-clad housewife, of which she was, who enjoyed the intrigue and the repartee of politics. She wasn't in it for the gain or the glory, and I will attest to that. She always had another issue to raise and a project to accomplish, and I'll tell you what, I really miss that lady. She was a good person. And so, Scott, I would like to present this flag in honor of your mom, and I'm so pleased that she's now inducted into the Norwayne Hall of Fame. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And hearing the wonderful stories of Justine, it always reminds me, because you hear people talk about, I love how the neighborhoods were back in the day. Back in the day, everything seemed to be so much better. And what we seem to forget is that back in the day, it took a lot of hard work. It took dedication, it took time. I think sometimes we just pass it off to our fleeting youth and we remember our years of being young and, the adults were kind of adulting around us and not really including us in a lot of it. And we have to remember that it's our job to carry on those works and to carry on those works of service and being involved. And I think we're forgetting a lot of that in a lot of the generations now. So I encourage you to encourage those around you to remember we have to fight for our neighborhoods and put our love and passion into them and not just let them dwindle away. All right, so now we will move on to the purpose of inducting Henry Johnson. I would like to have come forward and introduce former Westland Mayor Eugene McKinney.
All right, thank you very much. I apologize for sitting down. I didn't want to embarrass Hank by tripping on my way to the podium. So that's why I'm still sitting there. I've known Hank for now almost 45 years. He was one of the first campaigners for me. Back in the day, we had campaign headquarters, and he did a lot of stuffing of envelopes. And my mother was always ran the campaign headquarters, and he became one of her favorites. She just thought he was the world of him. I don't know whether to call Hank or Henry. I usually call him Hank because he looks more like a Hank. But tonight, my God, he's got a white shirt and tie. I got to call him Henry. Henry was a activist from the earliest of ages. He was active and even in my campaign and campaigns later on, you could always tell that Hank had a good trait of being able to look at something and know there's a problem and then come up with solutions to it. He had that throughout his career. But he was also considered, when he was Hank, sometimes he was considered to be a troublemaker as well as an activist. So, his principal at Wayne Memorial High School, Mr. Bell, unfortunately can't attest, can't be here, but if he were here, he could tell some real stories about Hank. Being a troublemaker is not all that bad because we have to remember that's exactly the kind of people that established our country and worked in every city and established the cities. They were troublemakers as well as activities, as well as activists. Hank was an activist, as I mentioned, early in his life, but there's a rumor that no one wants to talk about too much, but I discovered this sort of underground rumor that when Hank was in the second grade at Lincoln School, he just one day got up out of his chair, walked out the door, and walked down to the principal's office. And he said to the secretary, I want to speak with the mayor. She was so surprised to hear this little second grader coming in. And so she said, okay, so she took him in to talk to the mayor, the principal. And so he said, what are you doing here? And he said, the drinking fountains are too high. And so he said, I want them lowered. And I'll be darned, they did lower the drinking fountains. So the second graders. Hank has been a Norwayner. He was born here, as you all know, and has always been active in what was going on in Norway. And he activated and energized the Norwayne Citizens Community Council. And it is just marvelous what they achieved. I just can't get over what all of you have done with that. And the volunteer work that is here, I don't think it can be matched any place in the city. It's just amazing the things you do. And, you know, the butterfly garden, the library, that library is unbelievable. And that's all volunteer work. So, and so Hank leads the way on that, and that's exactly what he likes, and that is trying to get volunteers to come in and do unbelievable tasks. I mean, can you imagine when he said, you know, we ought to have a library? And I said, oh my gosh. So I don't know if many of you have been in that library. I've donated quite a few magazines and a few books to it, and it's just unbelievable. And so I give a lot of credit to Hank for doing that kind of thing. I'm sorry, I mean Henry. Okay, because of his activities all the time and accomplishing unbelievable things for this whole community, I don't think there's anyone here who would doubt that his name not should just be Henry and not should be Hank maybe, but it should be Mr. Norwayne. And so, a long time Hank, Henry, Mr. Norwayne. Thank you very much, and I'm proud to have the job to introduce you. I apologize again for having to sit down tonight, but it was no reflection on you at all.
Oh, wait, we got a little additional. You're being hijacked. I apologize.
I just wanted to say, Representative Coleman was hoping he could be here today. Unfortunately, he's been double booked. My name's Ian Mays. I'm his legislative director. So we wanted to just honor Henry Johnson here, and it is my distinct pleasure to offer him a special tribute on behalf of Representative Coleman, State Senator Erica Geis, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, and Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And in addition to that, I know a good friend of yours, State Representative Isaac Robinson has procured a Great Seal of the State of Michigan signed by serving members of the House of Representatives on this day for you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, good evening, Norwayne. You know, I'm going to talk tonight. And the reason why I'm going to talk tonight is there was one vote in opposition.
Go ahead. I'm just going to clip it. You're loud enough. You don't need to hold it. There
One vote in opposition to place me into the Hall of Fame. And it was me. So I decided if they were going to insist that this was going to happen, you guys are going to pay for it, because I've got lots of stuff to say. First of all, I am honored to join the Hall of Fame with other members who I appreciate and respect a lot. And I'd like to introduce some of the former Hall of Fame inductees: Mike Cayley, Carol Sharp, Ken Sharp. And I know she's listening tonight. I would like to introduce the family of Marguerite Wojcicki. I'd also like to introduce my family. Present here tonight is my brother John, his wife Beth, his son Christian, his soon-to-be, my soon-to-be niece Abby, my niece Katie, my sister-in-law Kathy, my nephew John, my other soon-to-be niece Cameron. We didn't practice birth control, Father. And then I'd like to introduce my other family, John Bensey, Sandy Markovich, and Jean King. I am so pleased that my family could join me tonight. I really want to thank you, and I am pleased, honored, and humble to accept my induction into the Norwayne Hall of Fame and to join past recipients who I have long admired and respected. A very special thank you to the Norwayne Community Citizens Council Board of Directors for selecting me for this honor. Former inductees who are here tonight include the people I have just recognized. And an enormous salute to Justine Barnes, who will be enrolled into the Hall of Fame also, and to everyone who has made an incredible contribution to the development and revitalization of the Norwayne Historic District. It takes a village to raise a child is an African proverb that means an entire community of people must interact with children for those children to experience and grow in a safe and healthy environment. Villagers look out for their children. Far from Africa, Norwayne families adopted and enacted the bold perspective on how to protect children. The Johnson family, the Wojcicki family, the Sharp family, and 1,900 other families accepted this knowledge and created the village of Norwayne with the following principles. We believe that no family is an island. We believe every child needs a champion. We believe that the world is in a hurry, but our children are not. We believe that education equals expectations, and we believe that our children are citizens too. I was lucky to be raised in this village, a village where protecting our children and supporting each other was simply a way of life. 66 years ago, the Johnson Sipe family moved from the east side of Detroit to Ogama Court in the Norwayne subdivision in Nankin Township. Today, I still live in that house. The Norwayne community was a diverse community with transplanted families from Appalachia, Midwestern states, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Norwayne was a community built and sustained by spirit. Norwayne had a significant impact on the politics of Nankin Township. With 20,000 people moving into the Norwayne, this block of residents changed the politics of Nankin Township from a strong Republican community to a working class who voted Democratic. Charles Cayley, who was inducted into the 2018 Hall of Fame, was simply known as Mr. Democrat. Due to the influx of school-aged children, a new and bigger Wayne High School was opened in 1953. Renamed Wayne Memorial High School, it was built on Glenwood Street, across from the Norwayne community. The majority of the students were called Norwayne home. Kids from Norwayne formed a strong bond with other Norwayne students. We shared a Norwayne spirit. We supported each other. We protected each other. And we celebrated our successes and accomplishments. Norwayne, with its vast open areas that were easily converted into baseball diamonds, developed the best baseball players. And other inner-city teams from the Wayne Recreation Program feared coming to Lincoln or Jefferson schools to play the guys from Norwayne. Isn't that right, Gene McKinney? Gene was an accomplished athlete from Katy Elementary School. And Lincoln School had our own Jack Frakes, and Jefferson School had our own Sammy Ruggiello. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to again direct your attention to this photograph, because the Norwayne community had a great Detroit Tiger by the name of Bob Paffel. The Vinoy Dorsey Park was a community park right across the street where we sled on the big hill, skated on the pond, collected tadpoles from the creek, learned how to smoke when cigarettes were only $3 a carton, and played in the Rouge River unknown by our parents. Exciting news will be forthcoming about the almost $1 million improvement to the Vinoy Dorsey Park. As a child, you were supervised by the village. On Ogama Court, I was not only disciplined by my own parents, but every other mother and father who resided on that court. An extended family member, we participated in numerous weddings, first communion parties, graduations, birthdays, and more unfortunately, in recent years, the death of our extended family members. What a spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, because I am a product of the Norwayne community and remember the Norwayne spirit, in 2010 I helped create the Norwayne Community Citizens Council with a paramount vision to help ensure Norwayne's future, improve housing, eliminate blight, create a beautification effort in our community, educate our children, and ensure their safety. With developing strong public-private partnerships, we can make Norwayne a clean and safe community to raise our children. 9 years ago, we committed to work hard and become agents of change. Our main goal was to strive in making Norwayne a community of choice again. And I agree with you, Mayor Wild, that we have achieved that goal. So tonight, I ask you to commit to the renaissance of the Norwayne community and become a real village member of the Norwayne Historic District. Call me and I will put you to work. God bless you. God bless Norwayne. And please, God bless America. Thank you.
We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you, Mr. Johnson. We thank you. Thank you for stalking me and bringing me in. Thank you for keeping us going. Thank you for keeping us focused, keeping us inspired. We truly could never, ever thank you enough. All right, that includes our ceremonies for this evening. And as always, we open up the mic at the end of the evening for anyone who would like to share some of your memories of Norwayne, living in Norwayne, growing in Norwayne. So anyone who'd like to come, you're more than welcome to come. We just ask that you kind of limit it to about a 2 to 5 minute window, but please feel welcome to come up and share. Anybody? Come on, you know you wanna. You do, you do. No one? No one? All right. Maybe if we stayed quiet long enough, we'd get you.
Okay.
You can clip it on your shirt.
So
that's fine.
I'm not much of a public speaker, but I did grow up in Norwayne. My mother would be very proud with what is going on here. This is the kind of effort that she tried to start back in 1952. What got her involved, when Norwayne was built, it was a government project. And what the federal government did back then was paint all of the insides of the houses salmon color. When my brother came to kindergarten here in 1950, these walls were all salmon color. And my mother said, these kids are not going to live in salmon colored walls. And so her first effort in politics was to get different colors in this school. The other thing I'd like to comment on is she would really be proud of this Hall of Fame wall because of the women on it. That's what she was about. People like Judge McKnight. Judge McKnight. And she worked very close together to work on Norwayne projects. So those are the two things I'd like to say. Thank you.
All right, perfect. There you go.
I've got to tell you the story about the fire department in Norwayne at the time, and Ken probably knows all this history. But anyway, my dad was a regular firefighter with Nankin Township at the time, and we had a volunteer fire department here in Norwayne. And on Armada Court, we had several houses that we all have volunteer firefighters. Well, they used to have a siren, and when the siren went off, all of us ran out, like you said, Hank, it takes a village. And it really was a village on the street, the court that I lived on. We'd all run out and get the older kids and would run out and get the little kids and get them off the street so the volunteer firefighters could go out and go to the fire. And that was really a sense of history that probably nobody even thinks about now. The volunteer fire department that we had that was so good in Norwayne. I love Norwayne. Like I said, it does take a village, and it was a village that helped raise me because my mom worked and a lot of the women stayed home, and we all looked out for each other. Like I said, it was the best childhood anyone could ever have living in Norwayne.
Anybody else? Yeah.
All right. Yes, gotta move the microphone a little closer to your mouth, just so you know. There you go.
I come here with my friend Dave Paffel, but I went from the kindergarten all the way through to the 6th grade here. I got 5 sisters. One of them became valedictorian at Wayne Memorial High School in 1954. But one of the saddest things, and I probably shouldn't bring this up, but when I was in the kindergarten, one of the kids came in and wanted to get his rug, which we laid down, because his father was not coming home anymore. And he was lost during World War II. So I went to school here from 45 to 52, I think it was. But when I come here again, I always think of that poor kid, because he said, my mom says we got to go down home because my dad's not coming home. And I just thought I'd bring that. When I come here, I often think of that poor kid, Now, I'm 79, and I suppose he's the same age as me. But anyway, I enjoyed my wife, who passed away 7 years ago, but we were married 52 years. She was her cousin lived behind me, and that's how I really met her. And she always wanted to live here because all the kids, there were a lot of kids to play with and stuff. And she lived in Detroit, but in the area she lived, there wasn't a lot of kids. And we all ganged together, we all played. We played baseball, we played football. We did a lot of things here. And it was, I never knew anything else. This was where I grew up. And I can always remember kids saying, we're going down home this week. And I didn't know what they were talking about, so I asked my dad, can we go down home? He says, we're from up north. So he had to explain it to me. But there were a lot of people that worked in the defense factories around here, not only Willow Run, but they had tank plants. It was along Plymouth Road and stuff. So there was a lot of work for people. And my dad was quite old. Actually, he was 47, I think, when I was born. And we had 5 kids, so he wasn't going to get drafted. So, but anyway, I'm very grateful that I lived in this neighborhood. And I often think about it quite a bit. So, thank you.
You're in trouble now. Hi, I grew up on Ogama Court with the Johnsons. Yeah, we've been very close and stuff like this. We have the biggest lot, so when we had block parties or anything, everybody wanted it at the Wojcicki's and stuff. So everything was done at our house. Everybody, you know, we play baseball on our hill, which we call a hill. People may think of it when they go by as a lot, but to us, it was a hill, and we used to run to the sidewalk and back thinking, cars can't see us. When we were little, we'd think, okay, these cars can't see us, so duck. And I learned to ice skate really good because down in the woods, we would ice skate and you had to watch the logs. So you had to ice skate really good or you're gonna fall in the logs. And us Johnsons, with Jessica's and Johnsons, were so close that even our animals, we had a cat, Calico, and they had a crabby cat, and our cat, that's the only crabby cat could touch her. Well, we had in those old windows you could slide open and they come in. Well, we think our Calico cat was outside coming in. Well, we turn around and just look, it's Crabby. It's like, what are you doing here, Crabby? Well, when our cat had babies, Crabby would come in, sit with Calico, Calico go out and do her thing, then come back in, and they kind of like would kiss, and off Crabby would go and stuff. So, yeah. Yep, very true. So they would say, hey, we're related now, and stuff like this. So, but yeah, there's a lot of good memories growing up here. I wouldn't change it for the world. People would think, you lived in Norwayne? It's like, yeah, everybody knew everybody, everybody helped everybody. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better place to grow up with a great bunch of people that I'm still friends with. People see me and they'll say, you still see people from little? I say, yeah, I have a friend that I see or talk to for 55 years. We've been friends. And when something happens, even if I don't see her, she's right there and then and says, Karen, what's going on? How can I help you? How's this doing? So you make the best friends, and I couldn't ask for a better childhood.
I'm here. Not trying to chase anybody away. All right. All right. We thank you guys so much for being here this evening and sharing in this wonderful night. It's great every year. It's my favorite time of the year. And like I said, everyone who's here, we couldn't be more grateful and thankful for every single one of you giving and showing love to Norwayne. It means so very much to all of us. It means so much to me as a mother, raising a son in Norwayne now. And I want him to know that he owns his space in the world and he can be proud of his neighborhood and he can change the space that he's in so he can have the wonderful memories like everyone in this room who grew up in this neighborhood. So Everyone put your phones down and say hi to your neighbor every now and then. All right? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for attending this evening.